If you're getting into jewelry making, I'm going to show you 3 different ways you can make a loop, and I'll tell you exactly when I would recommend using each one. The first one is going to be the basic loop, and this is definitely the easiest out of the 3. So I would definitely recommend starting off with this one if you're a beginner. But this is a perfect loop if you just want to add any type of pendant, because you can easily open and close it and just add any dangly accents to your piece. So for this loop, you can either use just your round nose pliers, or you can even use a one-step looper. Start off by putting your pin inside your bead and bending it at a 90-degree angle. Take your round nose pliers and hold the end of the pin, but make sure it's not sticking out to where you can feel it on the other side. And you're just going to twist your pliers away from you, resetting your wrist so that way you can continue rolling. Before you completely close your loop, go ahead and add it to your piece and then continue rolling it closed. And this is how you do your basic loop. I don't know what this next loop is called, but I'm just going to call it the continuous loop. I use this loop when I want my charms to be a little bit more secure on the pin. As you can see, when I use just a basic loop on this, it still has some slack to it and the flower moves up and down. Whereas with this loop, I'm able to sit it as close to the flower as possible so it holds it nice and tight. So as you can see, the flower sits straight instead of hanging. Take your pliers and hold the pin at the very end so that way it's not sticking out on the other side. Now you're just going to continuously roll the pliers away from you. And you're going to do this until you get to the very end of the pin. So as you can see, we just finished one loop and I'm going to continue rolling it, using my fingers to guide the wire to sit perfectly next to each other rather than letting it roll on top. Then I'm just going to squeeze them together to make sure they're nice and tight and aligned. Don't use this type of loop if you want to easily open and close it, because as you can see, the loop is already closed. So this is something that you would want to string on as a bead rather than hook it on as a pendant. This final loop is the wire wrapped loop, and this is definitely the most challenging one. But this is the one that I would use if you want to be able to create strong links. For this, you're going to need your needle nose pliers and chain nose pliers. Sit your needle nose pliers directly on top of your bead and push the wire at a 90-degree angle away from you. It's important that you pay attention to the position of the pliers, because that's what's going to make it easy for you to understand how to do this loop. Once you have that bent, you're going to remove your pliers and replace it to where it's now sitting vertically on top of your bead. Bring the wire towards you over the top prong until you get to the bead. Once your wire is touching the bead, remove your pliers and place a lower prong into the loop. Now you have space to continue bringing the wire around the bead to the other side, completing the loop. If you're only making a pendant, you can continue wrapping that end around the wire, but if you want to connect other pieces, this is where you're going to add them on. Once you have that attached, take your chain nose pliers and hold the loop so that it's stable. Now you're simply going to wrap the tail around the wire. It's up to you how many times you want to do it, but I just do it 3 times. You can also use a pair of pliers to help you do this if it hurts to use your fingers. Once you finish wrapping, cut off the excess, and then you can take your pliers and tuck in the end of that wire. And that's how you do the wire wrapped loop. This is also just a great option if you want to make a fancier pendant.